Well, this is what we got for you today. This real simple, easy project. That's what I call them. I don't think they're that hard. I try to make them as easy as I can when I build them, so you can follow along and go ahead and do them yourself. Of course, it's made out of the Picket fence boards, and we use a lot of the scraps. We built this whole thing out of scraps. Just some little boards and stuff laying around. If you're doing the cedar boards, this would be good to get rid of some of those, you know. A little bit of glue, about a 1-inch brad nail we're going to be using for it, and then of course we're going to have to cut this wheel. So we'll go through it step by step and show you. I'll try to explain to you that the easiest way to make these. Okay, first thing we're going to do is build this box here. So we're going to go ahead and go over to the miter saw and cut some of these pieces up, and then we'll go to the table saw and do that. But let's go to the miter saw first and get some of these boards cut up. Okay, this is what we have. Some scrap here. So we gotta line that up. We want to make sure we can cut 6 of those boards, so might be shy of one. Let's go ahead and mark them 9.5 inches long. Alright, let's take these over to the table saw and cut them down. Okay, we're going to start out by cutting these boards down to 1.25 inches wide. Okay, so we have our table saw. It's all set up. Okay, we have all the sides. So we got 3, 6. Let's put them here on the side. Now what we're going to do, we're going to cut the front, cut the back, and then we're going to cut those 2 bottom boards on the inside here. Okay, so let's go back to the miter saw and we'll cut those up. Okay, since we have kind of a solid piece of board here, but this is all we had to go ahead and cut these down. So we're going to need 4 6 inches long. Okay, so we need to cut 4 of these 6 inches long. Okay, we got these cut, so let's go ahead and take these over to table saw. We still got to cut them down. Okay. All right, for the 2 side boards, we need to cut them down to 4 3/4. Okay, we need to set the saw up. All right, now we need to cut the two bottom pieces down to 4 1/8. Now, if you want, we'll go 4 1/8 across it. But if you like, you can cut these down to 4 inches and just leave that little gap in the middle of it. And I think that's what we're going to do. So when you go ahead, you don't have to drill holes in it. You can just let the water go down through if you put it, put flowers in it. So we're going to cut it down to 4 inches, just to make it easier not to have to put those holes in. Okay, we'll go ahead and put a little glue here. Okay, we're going to be using a 1/2 inch spacer. So make sure your board's 1/2 inch. Okay, there you go. So we have the box built here, and I'm going to use a square on it just to kind of check it. Make sure I'm not out of line too much. And then of course you're going to put your 6 inch boards in between here. Okay, we're done with the little crate thing for the top of it, so we'll go ahead and build the bottom part. What we're going to do is start out with these two long handles here. We'll go ahead and cut those. because I made these up here. You don't even have to cut them like this if you don't want to, but we used them on a saw and on a sander is what we did. You can cut that by hand if you want to cut it with a scroll saw. It'd be great. Anything like that. Any way you can get that little groove and kind of make that up yourself. I made my own pattern up, so you know, if I wanted to make them up later, see, I did like this, and I have the measurements and everything written on it. And then of course there's going to be an angle here in the top because we're going to pull those apart, so you got to remember that. And I'll show you the way I was doing it. So let's go ahead and get these. So these are going to be 1 3/4 inches wide by 20 inches long. Let's go ahead and cut 2 of those. 20 inches long. I need 1 of them. 1 board, get 2 cuts. Finish cutting now. Let's cut that down to 1 3/4 inches. Now, if you want to cut that, if you want to cut it wider, I guess you could. You could probably cut it, you know, a little bit more skinny or narrow if you wanted to. But we're going to stick with 1 3/4 inches. One board, and we got 3 of them out of it. So that's what I was trying to get at when I first started cutting this. Of course, the width of the blade, time you got width of the blade in it, but we took 1 board and got 3 boards out of it. So if you're making more than 1, this is great. You got an extra one here. So, and you know, they don't have to be exactly the same, but they seem to come out pretty good. So, okay, now we need to cut the end handle part. And then we'll cut this piece here, and I'll show you how to do that. So what we need to do is just go ahead and line these up. And I'm just going to trace mine here. But once you get one built, you can do the same thing. Just trace it around it, like something like that. And you can finish sanding this up by hand, but If you would like to, you can probably just mark something out and use a hand scroll saw on that. A jigsaw, I guess you want to call it. And then just cut that out like that and just sand it off real good, because you still have to sand this a little bit. So, but I don't know, they're supposed to look rough anyway. So let's go over. We're going to cut this angle. I'm going to show you how I cut the angle, and then you know, you just have to figure some way out to cut them, because you'll see. Let's go over to the sander. What I did is, of course, on the disc sander to make that. Now you can use I imagine you can probably use a belt sander if you want. If you have a belt sander or some way to sand that down, or you can cut that by hand saw. Let me show you. If you have a saw or something like this, you probably could just cut that. You know, put a mark across there and just take your time and saw it. These cut pretty nice. They're pretty decent little saws. So you might be able to do something like that and then turn around and sand that off. So what I got mine set up for is I marked it where I wanted it, because this has to be, well, don't have to be, but it's going to be around about a quarter of an inch or so right in here. So we're going to set this block in here. Let me see. I have one marked already. I got a place marked. So I got to put this block of wood just like that. And then there's going to be a board underneath of this to help me hold that. That looks good, just like that. And then what I'm going to do, when I run it through here, I'm going to sand it until it comes to this. I have a little mark right here, and that's where it's going to come into, and then it'll be done. Gotta make sure they're right way too. So let me think. This one. So I got mine cut, that angle on it. So you just got to figure it out how to get something set up so you can cut this, okay? Well, we got these two cut, and that's your handles. And it's cut on an angle. Just allow yourself about a quarter inch on the top here, you know, the thickness. You might want to adjust it a little bit. Make one and then make two. You know, make one and see if you can get that angle on that wood, because I've tried it a couple times, and you know, sometimes it'll work out just fine, and then sometimes I have a little bit of problem for it to come out. And I really think it has a lot to do with this wood, because the wood's not, you know, I don't think they're all exactly the same size. Some's a little bit thicker than the other, so that makes it a little difficult to mess with this kind of wood. That really, if you want to make something perfect, this is not what you want to use, this kind of wood. But you know, if you take something like this and just make a pattern, make one, and then try that, and then see if it comes out. If it comes out, then you know you got one you can use all the time. So now what we need to do is we're going to build. We're going to make these couple little boards here on the bottom, and then these two legs. The two legs, I have a couple cut over here because I have some stuff done. I made these. Now these are going to be a little bit. I made them a little bit shorter. Okay, just to kind of come up with that number. So, well, this one here is 5 1/4 by 1.5 inches wide. And then this one here, I think this one was a little bit higher. I think, oh, this was about 5.5 inches high. So I had scraps, I wanted to go ahead and use them. But they're all cut on a 10-degree angle. Okay, so if you cut it 5 inches, just cut a 10-degree angle on that 5-inch. You know, you don't want it, I guess you can have it down a little bit lower. It wouldn't hurt if you wanted to set it down a little bit more. And that's what I did with these, they're just a little bit smaller. So we got these 2 pieces set off to the side. Let me give you a measurement one more time so you'll know. I'm doing about an inch and a half, just scrap, and then I got about a 5 1/4. That's like, but you can go 5 1/2 inches if you want. So let's set these off to the side. Now we're going to do the 2 little boards here. So we're going to get them cut. Now let's see. Let's start out with a measurement on that. 4 5/8. Yeah, 4 5/8, and then just go ahead and use a scrap board. I got 1 1/4 scrap board. So 4 5/8, and they're going to be cut on a 10-degree angle. Let's see if I have some of that here. Now I have to go cut one. So let me go to the saw, and I'm going to cut one. Make sure you cut them the same way. You know, like this here. Let me show you. Okay. And cut these both sides on a 10-degree angle. And then just use whatever scrap wood you have. This one here should be cut on about a 2 1/2. On 10-degree. Now we're going to get the first measurement, and what we can do is we need to make that wheel. So we got the boards, they're all set up on a 10-degree like that. Okay. Of course they'll be set for that wheel set in there. So let's go cut that wheel. Now what we need is what I did with the wheel. It has the size I got of it is whatever size it came out of the board. So if the board was 5 1/2 inches, I went ahead and used that 5 1/2 inches. Okay, there's your 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 inch board. So we're going to go ahead and drill a hole right here in the center. Just mark it out to the center. If you're going to do it the same way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drill a 3/8 hole in it. That's the size dowel rod I'll be putting in this. And then we want to go ahead and drill the holes for the handles too. All right, I came back 1.5 inches from the top, from the front up here. So I came back 1.5 inches. Put my mark here. Okay, now we're going to have to find the center. 3/4, 7/8. See if I'm right. Close to it. I'm going to drill one hole. Maybe I can get both of them at the same time. Maybe. I'll try it here, see what we can do. We have the handles all drilled out, and we also have the wheel. I'm going to go ahead and run a router on this. You guys can do that too, or you can sand that if you like, or you know, if you just sand it up, it still looks nice if it's just cut like that. It doesn't matter. You just do the best you can, okay? But we're going to run a router on it, so we're able to do that, and it's nice. So let me see, what did I do with that thing? Oh, it's over here. Now this router is from Harbor Freight. I bought it, it's on sale a while back, so I went ahead and picked one up. Sometimes they'll go on sale really cheap because they're coming up with newer models, you know, so, but this will work really well. Tell you what, they are loud. Routers are loud. I don't know if there's a quiet one out there or not. It'd be nice. Okay, so now we need that 3/8 dowel rod. We're going to go ahead and put through the tires. Or put through the tire. Not tires, there's only one. I'll do that. That's the only thing that makes it hard, because I might have to, there we go. And then we're going to need these things. I think they go right above like that. Here. One up there. So what we're going to do is where that box goes. So let's measure from the front, back, and let me go back this way. I got 13 and 3/8. 13 3/8. So I got to measure back 13 3/8, and that's where the first brace will go. 13 3/8. Okay. And then you place this one up here in the top front. Okay, it should fit right in up there. Just place it in up there like that. And then we're going to need to cut this off. Just going to knock it down here. Pretty tight. Just go ahead and saw. That's what that little saw comes in handy. That thing's sharp, I'm telling you. Really do some cutting. Alright, Okay, so just set your brackets the way you like to set them. Just keep them in between this box. You know what I mean? The width of this box. And you can't adjust it up and down. I gave you measurements on that. Let's just double check it again. Yeah, about 13 and an eighth, 13 3/8, something like that. You can change it. So what we want to do, we just take the box and set it up on top here and just kind of adjust it back and forth a little bit to kind of make it look a little bit even, and then just go ahead and staple it down. Okay. I'll lay it right there. So our last piece, let's move it over here. It's going to be the little legs, and just place them underneath like this. And I do have lines on them right there where I like to have them, and then kind of place it like that. Did I get it wrong? Another one. Make sure I got them lined up. Yep. There you go. That's pretty nice. We got two of them here. It makes it nice. We got one up. I get to make, when I do these videos, I get to make an extra one. So I always have doubles. And there you go. You don't have to sand them. You can if you like to. But me, I like the rough looking, especially for outside. And then of course also maybe put a sealer on top of these. Even though it's cedar, you know, the sun likes to change everything colors. So maybe you can kind of keep it the way it looks natural. And then make a few of these. Now these would sell if you want to put these along with your woodworking projects when you go, you know, to places to sell them. These probably would sell. Nice little item. And I would sell something like this for about maybe about 30 bucks, something like that, maybe 30, 35. Or you can put a flower in it and just kind of dress it up and sell it with the flower inside of here, and probably sell it a lot faster too if you want to get rid of it like that. So there you go. I think it's kind of simple. I don't think it's really hard to make these. Just once you get some of your pieces all cut up, you make your first one. I always say if you make your first one, your second one, you're always going to improve on your second one. So give it a chance and make these things. Now, just don't let the big tools and stuff discourage you that you can't make these, because you can make them with just regular hand tools. Give it a try. Just be careful on some of your cuts. You know, keep your hands away from the sharp blades and stuff like that. Okay, that's it for the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Guys, hit that like button and share the video with other people. You know, somebody you might know want to build something like this. Okay? Thanks for watching. Have a great day.